Welcome back to another game, and I'll just send my message to let him know we are on YouTube. So C4, I've not had an English for a while. I don't know whether to play G6 against the English as well. We could do. I quite like this setup against the English. So pink shirt today. First time in a different setup, and let's see if it brings us some luck. So yeah. Okay, so they're going for like a traditional bit. The bishop goes here. Sometimes you can play it as a bit of a Catalan with d4. I like just getting rid of this bishop of mine. It's been a while since I've had this as black. I did I think I did an opening video on this. I kind of went through a series of doing opening videos, and I did one on this, like a Dutch style setup that you can play against the English. And that bishop's just going there to just cause some double pawns. I might play knight out. Because the only way I was thinking is on d6 they'd have c5, which is fine. Like even takes is okay. Okay, so they get their bishop out. So I can chase it away. Takes. Or do I castle? And there. It's a bit annoying. Is there any threats? I'm castling. I wonder if they take and then come back here. Let's scoop it up. Okay. So next combination of moves is going to be this. If they castle kingside, I'm going to be looking for an f4. Bishop coming out here. Maybe that would be an interesting rook lift in one go. I was thinking more this route. Or we just try and hammer straight through here. Right, so they do castle straight into me. This check is fine. This. Maybe c5 is fine here. Maybe I think this bishop is going to get active. Like I could see myself wanting to play both d6 and b6, but then obviously this looks pretty bad. I don't really want to play e4. I'd much rather play f4. I think even when I play f4, maybe I'll play f4. Interesting. I think I'll play f4 now. We've just got to be mindful always of queen d5 and having a loose e5 pawn. But now that the rook's moved away, that it does weaken the f2 pawn. So there could be some lines, whichever way they take back. If this knight ever moves, then this pawn is weak, and I can make the knight move with e4. So like I could take here. His pawn takes back, I push, and then like knight comes here. We're taking with check and infiltrating into a really nasty position. So it takes, maybe they have to take back the f pawn, and again I can push, maybe check and lock the pawn in. I don't know if that's something I really want to do. Wow. That doesn't feel right. I don't want to take better. I think I just leave the tension, right? I might play this and bishop here. That feels good. Maybe I'll could even play b6 to play against c5. I'll stop with this. Also go after this pawn. Moves like this, bishop, queen. I can get quite a bit of pressure on that pawn, but b3 does defend it all for them. I like this structure. I don't think that was very good. e4. I'm very happy. Blunts this bishop, which was quite strong. I still maintain the ability to open this f-file at a time of my choosing. And this pin is going to be real dangerous, right? 1 in kind of 2 and 3, all kind of looking at the knight with only 2 defenders. So you need to defend against this threat. Maybe you're here. Maybe I should play king h8. Yeah, so this I can only see this as the only response to it. Move away, then move your knight, and I still have check. Yeah, really favourable position. I can pick up the b pawn if I need to. Maybe rook lift in. Yeah. Summary is this is a big threat. I could put my bishop here as a temporary, maybe this kind of idea, but yeah, like I say, anytime you move your knight you're in trouble. I think this rook just had to get left alone on f1. I think this is too strong of a battery. Yep, so queen moves. I can still put my bishop here. I thought this square would have been better, right? You're on more stuff there. So here, again, threatening to take, and then I'm on the knight. Oh, is the idea you can now move the knight because your queen defends this pawn. So here, knight moves, takes, you can take, and I'm not on the pawn. I think that's a sensible move. I'm not quite sure where I want to put my bishop. I'm also contemplating whether I want to be playing b6 to prevent this counterplay. So the only way then that they could do it would be playing for b4 and then c5, but maybe I could get both of these moves in, but maybe then that opens up a bit too much on the queen side. Yeah, okay, and the rook goes back. So I can play bishop here on the pawn. I wonder if this is viable. G5, G5, G4. Is that viable? Then play this, and that goes back. I mean, it looks pretty, but does it do anything? It kills your bishop, which is nice, I suppose. Yeah, so is this viable? I suppose this could be a plan. Not really, I'll just take it. This is a quite a good square for your knight, isn't it? Yeah, maybe I do. Maybe I want to get this and I land my knight here. That looks pretty tasty. Should we go for it? I might regret not moving my bishop. Yeah, maybe the option was like bishop here and queen here and trade off the bishop. Maybe that's still an idea. Trade off the bishop such that my queen ends up here. I push the pawn and I mate like this. Could be viable. I also think maybe I should have. My king was probably better on G7 rather than H8 because I could see a world where the H file opens up. What's going on there? Where the H file opened up. I want to be able to put my rooks down there. Well, we've got an attacking position. I think White's got to get some counterplay over this side of the board. Right, if they can clear off some pawns, infiltrate on the 7th with a queen coming through somewhere, that's bad for me. I just got to hope. Typically, attacks on the kingside end in checkmate, so it doesn't really matter if you break through if I can mate you. That's a big if. Is this coming? And then this? So what happens if I play this? I think if this comes on I can take. Maybe we just develop. Yeah, I presume this is the plan. Maybe my knight wants to sit here. Okay. Yeah. How do we make progress here? Maybe the bishop wanted to be here. No, because then it gets tempoed out of there. King up. Kind of where I said I wanted it to be. This, how does this pawn cube work? Rook up. My knight's not got much scope where it currently is. Doesn't have much scope there either, does it? Well, if I could drag and drop a knight, where would I put it? Here? Here? There's quite nice because it could always jump into there, couldn't it? So the path is what? There, 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 there. Or maybe like this way. And gets kicked out this way. Look, I think, okay, wow, we get it. I was thinking just taking here. I think I'd do that. Okay. Queen here and here. Or do I bring this knight round? To run the pawn up. The other idea I'm thinking is this viable, running my A pawn down. No, I think this route's better. I didn't even look at push, but I presumed it wasn't viable, but maybe it is. Well, things are happening. I think this rook wants to go here, and this one maybe wants to go to h7. Or maybe g7, or maybe this one wants to go to g8, and this one wants to go here. Playing on f4. Takes. I don't want to let him push. So takes. Here. Something like this. Not sure. can use take twice, can't I? I can use take, take, take. Okay, what does that do? What does that do? Defends the pawn. This is my next idea, so I probably want my king here, maybe this rook on h8. And when I get here, if they push, that creates a really nice square for my knight, and I've got a passed h pawn, which should be good for me. And let's continue with my plan, play it reasonably quickly, save some time for when I need it. Again, this might be coming. Push here. Trade, trade. We trade, trade. Can defend that pawn easily enough. We'll take, take to get a tempo. Push. Don't you want to push? Takes, takes. Takes, takes leaves me with the backwards d pawners. That doesn't. Maybe take, take, push. Take, take, push, rook over. Keeps a balanced pawn structure. Gives me some leverage on the h file. Like king's probably coming this way. But like I said, I think I'm going to free up this f4 square for my knight, where it's going to be a beast. Weird setup, eh? Anything of any value are all touching each other on the king side. I'm throwing everything I've got through here. I imagine I'll probably want to try and get some counterplay over here and bust through. That rook on f7 does quite a good job, doesn't it? Defending these, particularly that f7 pawn laterally. Although I'd really, maybe I prefer the queen and the rook run the other way. Or maybe I prefer my queen here to create a bit of a battery for the bishop. But yeah, my plan is to get h5, h4 in to achieve control of the f4 square for my knight, where it will be a beast. And the only way to remove it is to oppose it with your knight, and it's not so easy from where it's sat. That doesn't change my plan. If you come here, I was like I can take, but no, if you come here, yeah, maybe we take and then jump in and this square's loose. I can come around here. Lots of good things can happen. Continue with my plan. You know, Well, I was going to say I can take. Maybe pushing is quite good as well. Okay, so pushing there, push. This square's got to be good. Now if I need to, I can start making my way over to the queen side. Right, this is really good, right? Outside past H pawn, a knight centralised on F4. Really, really good with, happy with this. So I'm thinking, yeah, now I'm probably going to try and explore looking down here, unless is there any tactics? Like I say, here, there, check, you're forced here. Maybe, like takes, check. Nearly some kind of like takes, check line. Take there. I need to be worried about this. There, check. This. If there, check. No, I don't see it. Do not see it. Maybe king up to defend this pawn. If I go up, are they coming over here? Just want to keep contact with that pawn so that my knight can move, and I can move my queen to strike through. I think some tactics will emerge. This feels, usually that's what they say, isn't it? Like when you've got a good positional grasp, that tactics start to emerge for you. Okay, so that doesn't quite work. But takes check, and the bishop can take. Okay, so I think we'll move the bishop, the rook, sorry. Here, takes, queen takes, rook over, takes, that takes, queen there. Takes, do I want to liquidate, how far do I want to liquidate? Maybe queen here. It should be this rook that needs to move. Do I double up the rooks? Let's try that, shall we? And threaten some kind of this. And then, yeah, we'll reroute our queen here to come down here. Maybe we'll play a5. Maybe we won't. It's a bit of a trade-off now between finding decent moves and only having 5 minutes left on your clock. this bishop is tied down against the fork. I want to try and overload this pawn. Try and get some sacrifice in here. Do I want to bring the queen? No, I don't think so. I think here for my queen. I'm also thinking, do I try and like blockade their bishop? Yeah, actually, this would okay. Yeah, then here, and then this pawn is weak. So here takes as a trade. Check somewhere. Takes the rook. Takes the rook with check. Takes the bishop. Here takes check somewhere. Takes. Because I don't have that, do I? Here, not here. I don't know, maybe that. No. Here. Takes. Check. Somewhere. Yeah, it's got to be check. King over, so I get out of that check line. That doesn't feel right. Maybe this. A6 b5. A6 b5. Spent too much time on that. Do I play this? No, I don't think so. Maybe play a4. a4s on the card, isn't it? Yeah, looks like unless they play a4, but they can't play a4. So yeah, I like the look of a4. So maybe bishop's coming here. Okay, a4 now. Takes, knight. She jumps. Let's do that. Play with some energy. Maybe we get takes and like rook will come down. Maybe I can get 2 rooks for it. Is that something I want? Probably. I feel like this is a position that 2 rooks will be strong. Maybe if it takes, I'll bring the rook over, but then bishop there. Then we pick up. No. Okay. So we've got a knight. Oh. Oh, I didn't even look at trapping it. It's a bit cheeky. What if I come here to threaten there? It's a bit cheeky, isn't it? Queen up. Queen up, how do you defend? Put your queen in the way. What if I come over here? Under a minute. Kind of lost my threat on f3 now. If this comes in, maybe I'll give up. Takes. So yeah, this is my threat. To take there. Queen can't really go there. Well, maybe they play this. Takes, queen over. Check, pick up. Yeah, there's a lot going on. Could have done with some more time. There's going to be chances here. This takes. I'm still threatening the same thing. And like queen over, I've got check. So we rook over there. I might end up losing my bishop. Okay, what does that do? rook, so I think I'm probably going to end up losing this bishop, aren't I? Knight here is a really good square for their knight. Yeah. Does give me this. This is a threat. Oh, but you give up this, which is nearly mate. Okay. Is that mate? Is that mate in one? If they'd gone back, I still had stuff to do there. That was exciting. Let's take a look. So yeah, quite an aggressive line against the English. I like putting the bishop out and trading. So this is fine, this gives black a slight advantage. Yeah, minus 0.6 if I played d6. Really wants d6. Yeah, I really didn't like this, so my advantage is now -1. I finally played d6. You like g5, interesting. I didn't play g5. Yeah, so I think g5 and king g7 is better than king h8. Like if I'm gonna play g5, I want my king on h7. Okay, this is now nearly -2. So English is fine. This is now -2.5. Okay, let's just continue with my pawn storm. I can just ignore. Okay, I can play this. Yeah. I was worried about them locking it down, but they can't, they just lose a pawn if they try and lock it down. So maybe this, like queen back to then threaten it, and then maybe you would take. It's still good for me. Just kind of slow playing this. Still -2. Now it's -4. Okay, so like, is there an immediate sequence here? Yes, there was. And I thought I looked at something like this. Yeah, so here you're forced here, and as soon as you come onto this line, I'm sacrificing. It's not even a sacrifice, is it? Yeah, so if you come up, then knight there, and then takes, and if you take, I was thinking something like this. Yeah, okay, should have spent a bit more time looking at that. Put my knight, how long did I spend on that? 30 seconds. I think I probably just played it a bit slow, did I? Oh, yeah, now I went to just kind of shift focus over to the other side of the board. And I've still got an advantage, but nothing major. Taking there did feel a bit risky, but I didn't. Oh, knight there just wins. Yeah, just wins the piece. So queen there allows rook takes. Okay, still 0-0. What am I missing? can you take there? Is that not mate in 1? Oh, have f6. I totally admit, I thought there was a mating there. Fine, okay. Check, and here was mate in 1. Actually, yeah, so white's winning. Or better here. Oh, I thought they had to go back with the king, but they don't. They can block with the bishop. So if you go back, yeah, okay. So I just got lucky, really. But that's mate in 1. Cool. Well, thanks for watching.